Hi, I'm Johnny Jones, and thank you for tuning in to this edition of Candidate Corner. I'm here with Kelly Cox, his wife Jordan, and their great kids Audrey and Logan. Kelly, you got a big announcement to make. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, let's do it.
Again, my name is Kelly Cox, and I'm excited to announce that I'll be running for Beaufort County Sheriff.
That's awesome. Jordan, what do you think about that?
We're all excited. Kelly is a great husband and father, and we're excited to see what he's got in store for the county.
Audrey and Logan, what do y'all think about that? Thumbs up. All right, well, stay with us, folks. When we come back, we'll be sitting down with Kelly. We've got 5 questions for Kelly that we want answers to, so stay tuned. Thanks again for joining us here with Kelly Cox. Kelly, thanks for taking time to sit down with us. We've got 5 questions for you.
Okay.
Let's start with question number 1.
Okay.
And that's simply this: why do you feel led to run for the office of sheriff here in Beaufort County?
Well, ever since I was little, I've always felt the need to help people, whether it was my friend with the chain falling off the bike or, helping one of my neighbors up the stairs and everything like that. I always felt that sense of wanting to serve my community in one way or another. So as I grew and started paying more attention about what I wanted to go do, law enforcement was always at the forefront of everything. So when I was looking at my career choices, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office I was hired in, and I felt like for as all the different facets of law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office was the best for me because we are really community driven. We answer to the people of the county. If you don't like what the sheriff is doing or the direction of the sheriff's office, we have these elections. You vote him or her out, and then you vote somebody else in for a change that you might feel is a better direction for the county. And that's where I feel like I am now. I worked for 3 different sheriffs, 2 different sheriff's offices. What I have learned is that the sheriff's office is bigger than any one person. It's more than having 4 stars on your collar. It's more than having your signature on the side of a fender and everything like that. It is all about what we can do as an office to make the county a safer place to live, work, and raise a family. And I think sometimes that gets lost in translation with some sheriffs. And instead of this me, myself, and I mentality, it should be a us, we, and our. And for me, seeing it all different levels, I had that relatable law enforcement experience, especially from within the sheriff's office. And so that's why I felt like my career path, and I've been led to kind of head this way, and it's a huge responsibility. It's a responsibility that I don't take lightly, but if I'm fortunate enough to be elected, I hope to be the sheriff and serve the people of Beaufort County for many years to come.
That's incredible. Well, stay with us, because when we come back, question number 2 for Kelly Cox. Kelly, here's question number 2. You ready?
I'm ready.
Simply this: what experience and qualifications do you have to be our next sheriff?
Well, I think from an application point of view, as far as education, I have 2 associate degrees, one in associate in arts and science, another's in associate in criminal justice. And up to a year ago, I went and got my bachelor's in criminal justice as well. I feel education is important, kind of advancing the career forward. Another thing was, once I joined the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office when I first started, my career trajectory, it was pretty steady and fast. Started off as a road deputy. After that, took several different roles, one of them being one of the admin sergeants within the office. And what that did was kind of lead me to see the day-to-day operations, what it took to more or less run the office, working underneath the command staff, and just trying to figure out ways, whether it's budgeting or planning, just a multitude of things. Then another Sheriff Coleman, asked me to take over Crime Stoppers as the coordinator. At the time, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I knew about Crime Stoppers, but I didn't really understand how involved Crime Stoppers was, especially within the community. And I believe it's one of the best programs any law enforcement agency can have, because you're essentially giving the power to the people to make these tips, and it be under anonymity, so they don't have to worry about fear of having to go to court and testify or anything like that. And the slogan is, we only want your information and not your name. And it has solved all kinds of crimes from petty larceny to homicide. So that is my passion. And matter of fact, Sheriff Hughes over in Craven County, when I saw my time was ending here at Beaufort County, he had been trying to get me to come work for him a couple of years prior. And one of the main things he wanted me to do was help revamp their program because it quite frankly didn't exist. So finding a new board, getting out in the community and talking with people. Other things that I did, the sheriffs really put a lot on me, but I kind of thrived under that pressure. When I was promoted to lieutenant of patrol, it also encompassed the SRO division and the bailiff corps.
SRO being the school
Yes,
resource officers,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. So right at hand, I had about 45 deputies, men and women, that was in my division. And, that's 45 different personalities. That's 45 people maybe having a good day or a bad day. With the SRO, with school resource officers, not only am I trying to make sure the deputies have what they need, but I'm also talking to school administration, with principals, with school board members, trying to keep them informed about what was going on. And the thing with the bailiff corps, if the judges or clerks are happy with the deputies working at the court, if there's something, it's a big Rubik's Cube of just trying to get everything fixed. So it was, one of my management skills was to kind of, what can I do to make it better? It wasn't like a authoritative style, like a rule with an iron fist, but it was making it to where everybody enjoyed coming to work. We had standards, we had policy, but, we wanted to make sure that, we were giving the deputy all the right tools and encouragement to do the best job possible.
And then not to mention, you've been doing this for a good long while.
Yeah.
How many years now have you
it's
been in law enforcement?
It's going on 15 years. And like I said, it's been a fast 15 years. I've done stuff that I never really thought I would have been tasked to do. I enjoyed the road, but, I learned really quickly just how much is involved with a sheriff's office, and it is political, and, you do have heartburn that way. But if you're in it for the right reasons, it is a calling, and that call for servitude, and I've had a lot of highs, I've had a lot of lows, but at the end of the day, if I can be, if we can be a light in somebody's darkness, then that's what it's all about, because it's not about the money, because if that was the case, nobody would be in law enforcement. But I know I can go home at the end of the day and put my head on the pillow knowing that, I did my best to make the day as best for somebody that I could.
That's incredible. Well, stay with us. When we come back, question number 3. What is your vision for the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office and for Beaufort County?
Well, my vision for the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is to be the best sheriff's office in the state. For Beaufort County, it would be making Beaufort County the safest in the state. And there's several ways that we can continue to strive to make it that way. A lot of it is the morale piece within the office. If your deputies, your men and women that are coming in are looking forward to going to work or are happy, they're going to be more productive. They're going to be more proactive. They're going to be more willing to go ahead and tamp down the crime that, is going to plague us. No place is crime free, but what we want to do is we want to make it as hard as we can for criminals to commit crimes in Beaufort County to where they just say, you know what, we're going to go elsewhere. So I think that it's important to remember that on the office of the sheriff, keeping deputies here. And if we focus on retention, that's going to help on our recruiting, because if you have the retention, the deputies mean that they're happy working there, right? And so then they're going to talk to their other law enforcement friends or people that may be interested in getting into law enforcement and be like, well, hey, how's the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office? Man, it's great. We have this, we have that. We want to make sure we give them all the tools of the trade to be successful law enforcement officers. The job isn't getting any easier. And that if the deputies make a mistake, that means that we're going to make sure we have their back within reason. You know what I mean? That they're not afraid to do their job. And I think that, having the right people in place makes all the difference in the world too, and a lot of times you see within sheriff's offices, it becomes a retirement home for other law enforcement officers, and they're collecting another check. and they may not have that relatable experience because they never grew up in the sheriff's office environment. You know, they don't understand the crimes that we do. They don't understand the politics of it sometimes. And so what we want to do is we want to foster an environment to where if you come into the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, you have a place of advancement. You know, you don't have to worry about every 3 or 4 years or somebody else that has never wore a deputy uniform or never wore a star gonna jump jump over ranks and then be the number 2, 3, 4 person, because that's a morale killer. You know, there's plenty of competent people that working within the office that that had the ability to be good command staff, men and women deputies. So I feel that it's there. We have all the tools, to make the office great, being a good steward of the taxpayers' dollars. That's another big thing, we don't have a blank check. We need to be mindful of where the money's being spent, so these are all things that people care about. They want to know that they're safe. They want to know that their money's being well taken care of, that we're putting in programs that are important. So I think at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we can make our office the best we simply can make it. And we want to make Beaufort County the safest we can make it. And it's going to take good proactive, patrolling, investigations, and making sure they have the time and the resources to be able to do that. So
that's awesome. Well, stay with us when we come back. More questions for Kelly Cox. Are you and your family prepared for the ups and downs of running for political office?
I think we're as ready as anyone can be running for office. We're going to enjoy the ups, and we're going to just push through the downs. I don't think there's any election on earth that isn't filled with sometimes the ugliness, the dirtiness, and we have sat down as a family. Audrey's 10, Logan's 8. So they're a lot more self-aware than I even give them credit for. Even with Jordan, we've been the subject of rumors. I've gotten anonymous letters that was sent to me, that was sent to my wife, sent to my in-laws, sent to a friend of mine, sent to my sheriff of Craven County, Sheriff Hughes. And it's just so petty, like if they're using their energy and focusing on something for good, they'd probably make a better person. But I don't understand that mentality. But, we are going to focus, on running a positive campaign. I don't, like I said, I don't care for the shadow politics. I don't care for all the behind the scenes. I'm going to be who I am. Am I perfect? God, no. And I recognize that. And have I made mistakes? Absolutely. But I'd rather make a mistake that makes me humble than an achievement that makes me arrogant, And I think if I can just focus on that piece of being positive and not letting those other, just the ugliness shake me, we're going to be okay.
Absolutely. All right. Well, stay with us when we come back. Last and final question for Kelly Cox. All right, it's our last and final question for Kelly Cox. Kelly, this is easy. You ready? How can people learn more about Kelly Cox for Sheriff? How can they get involved, and how can they help?
So the easiest is to go to kellycoxforsheriff.com. The webpage is fantastic. By going there, you'll be able to find ways of how to donate, how to help, whether you want to be on a sign committee or help with the fundraising piece. You also can find out more about my story, why me as a family man, me and my family, my career in law enforcement. So it's just a good collaboration of everything that you can make an informed decision about myself as a candidate. We also have our social media pages up for Facebook and Instagram. So there's really easy ways. We can't make it any easier for you to make contact with myself or campaign members. So
not only that, you got some great merchandise as well, right?
We do. So we have, you see the hats, we have shirts, we have window decals to go on the back of your vehicles. We have yard signs. So by showing your support, make a donation, you can get one of these, some of the merchandise that way as well. So I can't say how much I do appreciate people, buying the stuff already, seeing it in town or going down the road, you know, with a license plate or vanity plate or a window sticker. So it's very humbling, and you know, I will never take it for granted the support that I'm getting from everybody.
That's
but
awesome.
those are the easiest ways to kind of get a hold of me. My telephone number's up there as well. So anything that I can answer, you know, ask your questions, bring your concerns, and we'll all make a plan together to make Beaufort County a safer place to work, live, and raise a family.
That's incredible. Now, as far as the merchandise, people can pick it up at a couple locations, but you all will deliver it as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, you know, if we can deliver it, we'd love to deliver it to you. You know, we'll have a couple places that we're working on, Fitness Unlimited and Engravers World. You know,
So they're set up for people to go pick up as well.
Yeah, and just put it in the notes that that's where you want to pick it up. That you just go there and you show them your phone that is a confirmed receipt, and then they'll give it to you. So.
That's awesome. All right, folks. Well, that's it. KellyCoxForSheriff.com. You can learn all about Kelly, his life, his history, his experience, and then you can find ways to even get involved and make a donation. Hey, thanks for joining us on this first edition of Candidate Corner with Kelly Cox. Kelly, thank you.
Thank you for having me.